In this video, I'm going to show you how to place your front CV axle on this Dodge Ram 1500. This will be located behind your front wheel. Let's get started. Using a 22mm socket, remove all 5 lug nuts and then remove the wheel. This truck has aftermarket wheels and lug nuts, so this setup looks a little bit different, but the same procedure applies. Remove the wheel. On the back side of the caliper, where it bolts onto the knuckle, you'll see two 21mm headed bolts. Let's remove both of these, pull the caliper off the rotor, and hang it with a hook to the side. That way it doesn't pull on the brake hose and damage it. Now you can remove your rotor. And with a 36mm socket, remove your axle nut. Make sure the axle isn't stuck in the hub and it'll push through. Mine moves and that's perfect. If yours does not, you want to use a punch and a hammer right in the center here and drive it through. Next, let's separate the upper ball joint from the knuckle with a 21mm socket. Remove this mounting nut and then we'll tap it apart. I'm putting this mounting nut back just a couple threads so that when I separate this, it will stop it and then I can remove it the rest of the way. This being an aluminum knuckle, I don't want to use a steel hammer on it, so first I'm going to try a dead blow rubber mallet and tap right here. If that doesn't work, we'll have to use a ball joint separator that presses it up and out of the knuckle. Hold the control arm down, unthread the mounting nut the rest of the way, and separate the two. Push the axle through and pull the knuckle down. That's completely loose. You won't be able to fully remove it at the moment, so let's work our way towards the inboard side. Now from underneath, use a pry bar, pry right here, and pop the axle out of the differential side. This may not require a lot of force, but you should be able to slide it out. Just like that. Now with the axle out of the differential, you can now push it back that way since it pushed this way, taking it out of the differential. Get it through the hub. And there it is. Take it out this way. There's the axle. On the differential output shaft side, we want to wire brush any rust that is here. For me, this is quite rusted. And you want to make sure that this O-ring here and seal gets removed before you brush it too much. You could also just replace this, of course, but if it's in good shape, you wouldn't want to damage it. With a collection bucket underneath, I'm going to rinse this down with some brake parts cleaner and apply some grease or anti-seize to these splines so it doesn't rust in the future. We'll reinstall the O-ring or install a new one. Make sure it goes all the way down so that water and debris don't get into these splines. On your new axle, apply anti-seize to the splines that go into the wheel bearing or wheel hub assembly. Then take your axle and push it a little further back, push it down at the front and slide it through the splines of the hub. Okay, and now you can take it and slide it onto the output shaft of this differential. For this, you might also have to spin it to line up the splines. Okay, just use its own weight to push it. That's installed on the differential side. Make sure it stays lined up with the splines on the hub side as you push the knuckle up. Line up the ball joint with the knuckle with a pry bar, push this down. And once this is fully seated, put the mounting nut back on the ball joint stud. Torque this to 40 foot-pounds. Now install your new axle nut. Bottom it out. Torque this axle nut to 185 foot-pounds. To avoid the hub spinning on me while I try to do this, I'm going to use a pry bar while I torque this with my torque wrench. Once again, 185 foot-pounds. That's it right there. If your hub is in poor shape and needs cleaning because of rust buildup and debris, use a sanding disc and clean it all off. Mine is actually in great shape and it's even still coated with fresh anti-seize, so I'm going to leave it. If you were to clean it, you would then want to coat it with some anti-seize to prevent corrosion, and do the same on the back side of the rotor. That is, for the cleaning, do not apply anti-seize to the rotor. Now install your rotor. Take the caliper, mount it back over the rotor. Start in the 2 mounting bolts. Snug these up. Torque these bolts to 130 foot-pounds. Let's get the wheel back on. Put on all 5 lug nuts, bottom them out in a cross pattern, and also in a cross pattern. We'll torque them to 130 foot-pounds. Double check them. And that's installed.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.